Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 8 of season 1 of The Expanse. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite things that I'm watching. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I start watching and I get really engaged in and I start feeling things for certain characters and I get attached to certain people. And I don't think that there's like, well, that's not true. I was gonna say there's not really one person I'm super attached to. I might have a little bit of a crush on Amos. I don't think I'm alone in that. I'm pretty sure most of the ladies and probably some of the men's watching this probably have a little bit of a crush on Amos. But I'm really like hooked on our crew of the Rocinante. I'm really like we have a ship, we have a group, we have a thing. I hope it keeps going. I don't want to lose any of these people. I would be very upset if that happened, but I know better than to like kind of get set on having people around for a long time. But this it's I feel like Amos is my Daryl Dixon. I will riot if something happens. I really dig his character. He kind of showed why, and it's because he has this loyalty. Whether it's to his crew, it's to the ship, but he was ready to take those Mickeys out. He was waiting. He was gonna go down. He was gonna die if it meant that he was going to help save his crew or his ship. And I love that about Amos. I think that he's a crazy person. I think that there's like a little bit of a I don't want to say psycho or sociopath, but like you can kind of see it a little bit in there. But especially when he has the whole scene with Holden and Holden's got the gun to the back of his head, and then when like the Mickeys are going away and Alex is cheering and they're like they're so happy, like Amos just was kind of like, well, that's awesome. And like gets up and just like walks away like nothing had happened. Like I don't know if that's cool. I don't know if that's psychotic. He flirts with that line, I think, but I feel like that's why we like him. Holden's growing on me a little bit, but I think he's like proving that he's kind of a good leader. But the him and Amos still butting heads. Like they're not getting along, but they just have very different ways of doing things. And I don't think either one of them can tell each other how to do anything, nor will they listen to each other right now. Right now, I think they're still learning their dynamics on the ship. But the Rocinante crew is heading towards Eros, not going to Eros, but they're going to some coordinates for Lionel Polanski, which Fred Johnson tells us that that's a code name. And I'm hoping that it's Julie. If it's somebody else, I'll be like, really? Like, how do you introduce somebody in the first episode and then just like never show her ever again? They have to, right? Like, we're gonna see Julie, right? She's not just like this fictional thing that like we get for story purposes, but we never see her again. We're gonna see her again, right? You don't have to answer. It's the thoughts that are going through my brain. But we have a stowaway on our ship, Kenzo, who is trying to get to Eros, and he was under the impression that's where they were headed because he didn't know their actual mission, supposedly. He's got that eye thing that I didn't really realize in the episode before when Naomi and Holden were at the bar that he was watching them. And I quickly realized that when I rewatched the episode, I was like, oh yeah, he was in that episode. So he was already kind of scoping them out to begin with, which makes me think, and I don't know if I'm wrong in this, is that he might be Christian's asset. Um, I think he was spying on Holden, not necessarily that he was just trying to get to Eros. But he does prove to be useful on the ship. He does have a little bit of help, kind of like saying what to do when the Mickeys are coming. That like you shouldn't pretend to be this gas freighter. Like you should pretend to be like Black Ops and say these code words, which I wrote down. The only thing I wrote down for Alex was donkey balls. Donkey balls. It's donkey balls. Alex, I did not know how they were going to get that book out and like them, working to open up that drawer to get the book for him to say the words. I was really, I was really excited to see that side of Alex because he's excited to fly the ship, but I think he was even more excited to kind of like that guy that like saved the ship. So that was pretty fun to watch Alex go through that. But I also don't know if Kenzo. I don't know if we can trust him. I know that the crew doesn't trust him. I know Holden has the conversation with him at the end of the episode, and he still locks him in the quarters. But I don't know if we can trust him, mostly because I think like it's Christian's asset, but I don't think Christian means anything ill by it, but definitely Earnwright does. He's actually sending a Black Ops team to go after them. We also saw Kenzo possibly sabotaging the ship, but then when he realizes Amos is letting him out of the cargo hold, that he unsabotages it. Is that a word? Unsabotage? I don't know. Retages? Sometimes I'm really smart and sometimes I'm really not. So we also see Christian go to Montana, and that's where the Holden compound, commune, co-op is, the ranch. And I will tell you that the moment that we had between Elise Holden and Christian Avasarala, told you that I would learn that, that they are the same. Like, they are strong mamas, they are tough bitches. But like they call each other out on being like bullshitty and just kind of being like, skip the fucking formalities. What do you want? And Elise learns that her son's alive. And then we kind of learn a little bit more about Christian's son and how he perished. And, while I feel like she is using that as a manipulation tactic to get her way because of like the always winning thing, I do also believe that it is a genuine vulnerable moment in which, these two strong women who are the patriarchs of their family, who carry their families on their backs, they have a vulnerable moment that they can share with each other where they can actually let somebody else in and there's a camaraderie that's there. And I will just say that, like, I am loving the women on this show. There hasn't been one, maybe Octavia to a point, but I think that, like, she is strong, but she's, emotional and like her job is hard and her relationship with Miller is hard. But I do believe that we have a lot of strong women on this show. And I love that it's on a sci-fi show. That being said, sorry. That being said is that this morning they announced that Nichelle Nichols had passed away. And of course, she's Uhura from Star Trek, and I got to see her at a Star Trek convention, the 40th anniversary Star Trek convention. And she was a trailblazer for not only women in sci-fi, but Black women in sci-fi, but Black women in television. I remember my mom always would talk about the kiss between Uhura and Kirk and how it was like the first interracial kiss that was on television and how it was such a big deal. And me growing up, I was like, "What's the big deal? Like, it's two people kissing." I didn't care that it was a Black woman and a white man. It didn't it didn't register to me at all. I was like, I don't see what the big deal was, but I know that it was a big deal at the time, and that she had a moment at a convention where this nerdy guy wants to meet her, and it's Martin Luther King Jr. And he says like, "Please don't quit the show, please stay on the show," and like how meaningful it was for him. And I don't actually know if it was a convention, and I feel like that's a story that somebody had told me, and I might be putting my own spin on it. But the fact that Martin Luther King Jr. told her how important she was to not only the Black community, but like I want to say how important she was to like women in sci-fi, and how she paved the way for all of these strong women to be in these shows. And I love that it's sci-fi. I love it because there's a lot of really poorly written women. There's a lot of poorly written female characters. And the fact that like all of these women are so strong and so fierce, and they have the vulnerability, they have the emotion, they show that they have anger. They're not perfect, but they are aspiring, they are inspirational, and it's very meaningful to someone like me to see women being portrayed that way. So rest in power, Nichelle Nichols. I actually watched Deadpool yesterday for the first time, and there was the old lady that was in there that looked like Nichelle Nichols, and I think I said it like 2 or 3 times during my reaction. I was like, "Is that Nichelle Nichols? Is that Nichelle Nichols?" And then she died. So that's sad. Anyway, let's move on because my broken heart is not serving me well right now. But we do see Christian and Elise go kind of toe to toe, mano a mano. We get a little bit of history on Holden and that Elise wanted him to leave Montana because he was being put in this machine of this political machine of really being an earther and being one with the earth, and she didn't want that for him, and she implores him to leave, to go into space. And we also know that she mentions that she gets messages from him once or twice a month, and there was a little sparkle in Christian's eye. She's going to use that information some way, somehow. She's going to use that information to either find Holden, find the Rocinante, warn Holden, because Aaron Wright is sending a Black Ops team to their location to, I don't know, take them out, take them off the board, I think is the wording that he says. And I'm hoping that our girl saves our boy and saves our ship. We're not going to lose the Rocinante. Like they don't name a ship just to blow it up, right? Because I would be so mad. I'm getting aggressive right now. I went from like really sad and emotional to like kind of angry for really no reason. I'm working myself up. And lastly, we got Miller. So he has more talks with Anderson Dawes and, a little bit more a mano, toe-to-toe kind of conversation. I don't think that's the last time that we will see them interact with each other. I'm not a fan of Anderson Dawes, mostly because of the story about his sister. I don't agree with that. And being someone who's lost a sister, I kind of take it a little personally. But I do think that he's a great character in the sense that he is a freedom fighter. He's fighting for his people. He's fighting for the belt. He wants that independence. And he, again, is like Christian, where he's going to go by any means necessary to do it. So there I do see a good leader. I just have to get over my personal issue with him, I think. But Miller is leaving to go find Julie. He's headed to Eros. I think he's going to find Julie, but I know he's headed to Eros. And I didn't really like the scene with him and Octavia. It seemed a little emotional. It seemed a little weird. But I hope that we're not done with Octavia either. I'm sure that we're going to go back to Ceres and we're just not going to have Miller always involved. But especially because she knows the information that was on the microchip. I feel like she might have some interactions with Anderson Dawes. I don't think we're done with any of those people. Okay, guys, I'm really loving the show and looking forward to every single episode. I love getting into it, and it's always juicy, and it's always yummy, and it's always good. And I try to remember as much information as possible. And I'm sorry if I screw up names. I'm sorry if I screw up, like the fact that I didn't remember that Diego was the one that Miller busted for stealing water, and then now he's floating off into space. So I don't know if we ever see him again. I hope we do. I don't know if they're going to pick him up on the way, because I know they're heading that way because they had mentioned that he had destroyed a Mickey ship. The uncle had destroyed a Mickey ship, and like everyone's in an uproar about it. So I don't know if he's going to be a crew member, but that would be nice. It'd be nice to see him again and alive and not floating off into space and be worried about that baby just not being able to do anything. And also, I don't know how you pee in space when you're in a spacesuit floating around. But apparently you can open up your visor and not die. I'm learning things. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's false, but I'm learning things. Okay, guys. Let's get into it. And there is a thunderstorm that is happening outside, and I am excited because I love thunderstorms. Okay, this is Miller, yes. Transit Berry. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got her necklace too. I feel like that's going to be important.
First time in space.
Oh, really?
If you identify the fear, you can get past it. And then you
Who's
get used
this
to it.
guy? Is he a pastor?
Salesman? No, I'm preparing myself for the Naboo.
Ah, Mormon.
Mormon.
Yes.
Yes.
A different kind of salesman. But don't hold that against me. I don't get the impression you're a man who's accepted Jesus Christ into his heart.
Guess I'm just not that desperate.
We all are, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Nah.
What happens when you get out there? There's nothing. Can't come back.
Well, you're right about not coming back.
It's about having faith.
Well, I put myself in the hands of God. True faith is a risk. You know, and with great risk comes...
Yeah, I know the rest.
Not my favorite conversation.
You guys might be getting out at just the right time.
Miller's growing on me, and I hate that. So where would Lionel Polanski be? Like on a ship on the side of an asteroid? Julie and the Razorback?
No life pod, no emergency habitat, nothing.
Stealth tech.
Alex, take her around. Let's have a look-see.
You got it, Chief.
Yeah, let's have a little look-see. Worm. I'm kidding.
Right there. Inside that crevasse.
Is that a person? Is it a ship?
It's some sweet parking job.
Yes.
Barely
Okay,
registering
it's a
on
ship.
scopes.
It's a stealth ship.
Stealth. I said it.
I kind of want to blast it.
I like Amos. I don't think I'll be screwing that name up anymore. There's just no way. He's my boy. Oh. Okay. Wait. Was that just the front of the ship? It's Tycho Station. I need like a full out view of that. That was weird. The ship doesn't look like a statue, right?
A lot of Martian soldiers gave their lives for this information. I need to know why.
I want to know what's on it too.
I need you to look at something.
Kind of busy.
It wasn't a question. I would play around with that all the time. I'd be walking on the ceiling, everything.
Looks dead.
Oh, yeah, you're a great help.
Nice stealth tech.
We already figured that out.
Who has shifts like that?
It's the second time she's had to say that to him.
We're going in.
Remember what happened the last time we went into one of these?
Yeah.
Suit up. You're coming with us.
And I feel really good about Amos being there.
Your new bodyguard.
Ooh, I want Amos to wink at me like that.
He so much as breaks a toenail. You're hitchhiking home from this rock.
Holden tries to be so tough to Amos. It just doesn't, it kind of falls flat for me. Naomi, yes. Not Holden.
This is bullshit. You can't just treat me like some kind of
Canary in a coal mine?
He gets the cracked one.
After you.
I keep wanting to like turn whenever they're upside down. That looks familiar. So it wasn't the Scopuli, it was this ship. Oh, I have so many little synapses that are firing right now.
Looks like somebody got spaced.
Everybody gets
your kind of
spaced.
ship.
It's fair.
Someone forced their way out of this.
Hey, Julie. Oh my god, I'm so excited right now. Ish. Hopefully she's alive. Because, like, I was just thinking that, like, she has been on that ship without water. Scopuli.
This is the ship. The one that killed the can. It has to be.
Well, it's coming full circle, Holden.
I'm gonna check engineering, see what shape the reactor's in.
It's a blue blob that eats people.
All right, sweetheart, what do you got for me?
Oh.
Why did you sign on to the can?
Good question.
I wouldn't have to have conversations like this one. Remember McDowell's glass cats? One time late shift, I caught him like petting them. He said he was cleaning them and that they were investment grade antiques.
I really wish I'd gotten that story.
Yeah, because Holden had asked about the cats, right?
This ship was vented on purpose.
Oh,
Hangar
interesting.
bay's empty too. There should be a short-range shuttle parked there, but it ain't.
Razorback.
Folks, I do believe somebody got away.
All systems green. Do you want me to fire up the reactor? This will go quicker if we had some lights.
The engineering blue blobs that was there.
Naomi?
Yeah, what is that? Oh. I wanted more.
James Holden. We learn nothing from a dead man. You'll turn him into a martyr.
James Holden will be killed in random street violence on Eros, the murder capital of the belt. Wrong place and wrong time.
What now?
Just a graph, right?
Frank DeGraff was found dead in his home this morning. He took his own life.
Oh, Christian.
We can finish later.
We can finish now.
She's tough as nails. Cold. A little bit. Tough as nails.
Can't have you sneaking in the comms and calling someone you shouldn't. Feel free to try, though.
That's not a good idea. Holden.
Maybe it's stealth tech stuff. A nanofluid spill that froze when the ship was vented.
Maybe. Because there's like not alien stuff on this show, right? It's not like an alien. Right?
The ship's called the Anubis.
Ah, the Anubis.
It's pronounced Anubis, Egyptian god of the dead.
Okay, his eyes say a lot.
Anubis works too.
Right, so the crew of this badass ship boards the Scopuli, uses it as bait to nuke the Cant.
Then spaces the crew, except for Lionel Polanski, who somehow survives, gets control, and then
He powers down, vents the ship, and then leaves a nuclear missile, state-of-the-art stealth fighter tied to a rock.
that makes sense to anybody?
I mean, since episode 1, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Whoever was on this ship was headed to Eros from Phoebe Station.
Phoebe.
Lopez said they found everyone on Phoebe dead. Some toxic spill or something.
Oh.
Maybe this is what he was talking about.
Yeah. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, shit.
I think it's absorbing energy from the reactor. For a second, it felt like that thing was...
It was alive.
Yeah. Interesting. I love that this is all coming together.
Possible biohazard. We need full decontamination.
Wasn't gonna let y'all back aboard without it.
Yeah, what if they brought that on the ship? Okay, so now Anubis, Phoebe Station, Eros, Scopuli, like everything is coming together. Which means at some point it's going to get blown to shit and then I'm going to have to start all over.
Let me help you find him. And if I do, you let me walk.
Okay. When we find Polanski,
Not before.
I don't trust him.
Anybody object to us turning that ship into scrap?
Hell no.
Well, anybody except you.
Why would you destroy something you control?
Because that ship is a weapon. And that thing on it felt like a weapon too.
Yeah.
Torpedoes armed and ready.
Amos is more than happy to take that shot. I just hope that that doesn't make things worse. Like, little bits of that ship go to other systems, and the hungry energy beast thing doesn't spread to other systems.
Remember the camp.
I love all these things, like the ships landing and not landing, but like connecting and boarding and thing. I'm a genius. Oh, no hat. Better hair. He actually looks clean. It only took 8 episodes for me to warm up to Miller, but warming up to Miller. But it's 1A. What does that mean?
I'm looking for my ship. Yeah, the Anubis.
Check the board.
It's my daughter's ship, you know, and
We don't give out that info.
I'm just trying to find her.
Mm-hmm. Trying to find Julie.
I sponsor you around.
Money talks. Much easier to spend, too. Oh, Miller. Did not see that coming.
Lionel Polanski.
Oh, it's all coming together. Oh my gosh. Miller saying Lionel Polanski. Holden saying Lionel Polanski.
Sammy.
You seem sober.
Hey.
That's the biggest surprise of the night.
Actually, I'm not officially employed.
Open the door.
I mean, him not being Star Helix probably helps him.
And where's my damn hat?
It was your hat. You can have it back. But it's all yours. I hate that hat.
Hey, just give me a coffee.
2 number 4s.
All right, we'll make mine the burrito style, you know. And plus a coffee.
Hey,
Oh, I thought he meant a coffee was burrito style.
when I got kicked off the force, I gave you that hat so you keep your head. I made the same mistakes I did.
Oh, he got kicked off the force too.
She could be hardcore OPA who'll put a bullet in your head the minute you knock on her door.
Possibly.
Yeah, she might.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still gonna pull on that thread, aren't you? No matter what you unravel.
Yeah, Miller's got a Miller.
I believe in her.
Hmm?
That's all I got.
Is it like a weird love?
It's probably gonna beat my ass when they check the logs. I knew you wouldn't take no for an answer.
And you're a good friend.
Lionel Polanski, that's the name she used when she registered the shuttle. Someone with that name is registered at the Blue Falcon.
What's that? Where is it?
It's a flop house courtside.
Talk to you later, buddy.
Miller. Just running for trouble. Can't wait to get to it.
You said you cracked it. Hope it's not a letter to a wife.
It's not. It's a real-time tactical record of the Donninger battle, right down to the millisecond, with full sensor logs and analysis. They also got high-res images of the attacking ships. You're gonna want to see this for yourself.
I want to
So what are you
see.
going to do now?
Well, I want to see.
Last place the name Lionel Polanski showed up on the nets was here.
Oh my god! Miller and Holden! Like the team! I didn't think they would be, like, coming together this soon. I thought definitely it'd be like a season finale or something.
The last time I was here, this machine did not work.
A lot going on. Or not a lot going on. Is this whole thing a front? Okay, that was so weird. Yeah, these people conjugating and wandering around. seem suspect. Weird vibes. Oh, God. Amos. Oh, God. Oh. Shit, I didn't expect that. Y'all are shooting like stormtroopers. Somebody's got to hit somebody. Miller! Oh my God. Oh my God.
James Holden.
Oh, he knows him.
Should just follow you around, don't it, kid?
Oh yeah, because he's famous. Forgot.
Hey! We need to talk. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here?
I'm going up to room 22. Touch me again. There's gonna be another body on the floor.
Smug Miller is interesting. Oh my gosh. She's probably not even gonna be in her room. Ooh, Alex. Gosh, thankfully Amos is like kind of calm under these tense situations. It's an unnerving, but I like it. Okay. Just let Miller kick that door in.
God, what's that smell?
Oh, please don't be dead.
Scapulae.
This might put up a bitch of a fight.
No, they were turning things off. Same as that reactor.
Oh no. Is it Julie? Oh. No, oh my God. Well, shit. Shit. That is not what I expected. I didn't expect Julie to be dead. Fuck. Part of me wants to cry, but I'm not really attached to her, but I thought we were going to actually get, like, more from her. Damn. I mean, obviously, whatever is attacking the reactor is what killed her, and I don't, like they said, it looked like it was alive. So I don't know if it's AI, if it's becoming something, if it's just a virus that eats things. Maybe it is alive, you know, if it is a virus or if it is a sickness. Wow. The fact that it's been all these episodes leading up to finding Julie, Miller, and the team of the Rocinante coming together, finally, you know, all the puzzle pieces meet. And as I've been warned, everyone's like, hey, you're going to get your answers. And then you're going to have all sorts of questions. Yep. Lots and lots of questions. My brain is melting. My brain is melting. I told my editor that I was watching this episode, and he just sent back like a double thing. It just said, have fun. I thought he was just messing with me. He knew. That's... I really thought we were going to get more with Julie, and damn, I feel bad for Miller because, like, you know, he said he believed in her, and then, you know, I thought that he admired her, and Anderson Dawes had accused him of loving her. I think he idealized Julie in his mind as to what he was going to find when he found her. Fuck. I don't even know where to go. I don't even know what to do. Oh my gosh, we got so many answers in this episode, and then just... I mean, like, we were on the Anubis. We got the connection between the Anubis and Phoebe. We got Lionel Polanski being Julie. Lionel Polanski was on the Anubis, was originally on the Scopuli. Scopuli, Anubis, however Amos said it. Like we were getting everything that was like coming together, like there were all these connections, and now it's just fucked. And I'm really still worried of the fact that they blew up the Anubis and that thing was still alive, and that it might have superpowered it because it was feeding off the energy, and that's what was giving it life. And I don't know if an explosion would do the same thing, but I also don't know if it was on pieces that are now going throughout the solar system, and that they have now spread this thing that is alive to more places. We also see Fred Johnson learn something off of the chip from the Donager, but they don't show us. And he seemed not like upset, but like, and also not worried, but kind of like there was like a oh shit behind his eyes. And I don't know if like something bigger is at play there, or if he's in trouble, like if something had to do with him. Not quite sure. And the fact that the UN ship is going to dock on Tycho Station in 2 days. And now everyone knows James Holden is on Eros, and it was because of Kenzo, which I knew not to trust that motherfucker. I don't know if we're going to see him again, but screw that guy. I knew not to trust him. And we also saw that Christian is learning all of this information about them boarding Tycho Station, and that Holden is going to be in an accident on Eros, so he's not a martyr. But then also that DeGraff had killed himself, and I'm sure that she's going to be wearing that guilt. And I don't know necessarily if he did kill himself or if it's meant to look like he killed himself. But the fact that he couldn't go back to Mars, he was heartbroken. He loved Mars. Mars was his home. That's where he wanted to retire and live out his life, and she took that from him. I feel like for her, it's not that like is going to make her tougher. I'm sure she's going to have a moment of vulnerability over it, but I don't know. I don't know what it means. And I just, for some reason, I don't know why I was confused about the Anubis and then Anubis 1A, because obviously the ship that was inside of the Anubis, the shuttle, would be a sub ship of the Anubis. I was just really wondering why the Razorback was being brought up a couple different times. And I thought for sure, because Julie had the suit in her apartment, that was the ship that she took to get to Eros, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And we got to see our crew kind of get into a little bit of a shootout. And I'm not trying to say that like they're useless, but definitely Amos is the guy that you want in that scenario. He seemed to really read the situation correctly. Missed Kenzo, but still, like that's the guy that you want to run that whole op. And luckily Miller showed up when he did. And it seemed like there was like a little moment between Amos and Miller where there's like a respect kind of moment. I don't know if that's going to happen between Miller and Holden. I feel like there's like a chip that's on each other's shoulder. Especially, and I was kind of like, I was like, well, how does Miller know who Holden is? But I forgot that Holden was famous for his phone call, his transmission. Remember the can't. Well, shit, now there's just all these new questions that I have. God, I love this show. I love this show so much. I love it so much. I'm really trying. I'm trying. This is not a promise, but this is like maybe me and my editor are working on getting 2 episodes a week. We're going to try to get ahead of it now that we don't have things premiering for the next 2-3 weeks. I should be able to get more episodes out, get them on Patreon quicker for you. I could do the full-length reactions quicker than the edited ones, but I kind of want to do it at the same time. I just think that fair is fair. But I do appreciate everyone following me on Patreon and going over there and watching the earlier reactions and the full-length reactions and the conversations we get to have over on Patreon. So if you want that, please feel free to go over and join my Patreon. I feel like it's a very modest amount per month, and it helps me out. It helps me pay my editor, and he's cranking them out, and he loves this show. So, you know, he's more than happy to edit them as soon as I send them. So I do appreciate you guys over there, and even watching here. It just really helps the channel out. So remember to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, recommend it to other people if you want. I do appreciate you guys, and it really does help build the channel and makes it a lot easier for me to get them out quicker. I do have a full-time job other than this, so I do apologize if it's not like other reactors that do it for a living. I don't know if that will ever be me, but I do appreciate anyone coming to my channel and watching and giving me views, giving me likes, commenting, all of the sort. I hope you know how much I appreciate you. You can also head over to my Instagram, Funny Little Gal Reacts. I did a Ask Me Anything this past weekend, and it was a lot of fun. I plan on doing that at least once a month. There were some saucy questions, which made it entertaining, and I answered them. So some with sarcasm, some with a little bit of lightheartedness, some with just a knowing look. But I like doing that stuff over there all the time. I don't know if I would ever do a live necessarily on YouTube. It's a little intimidating, but maybe someday in the future I could. You never know. All right, guys. Until the next episode, I'll see ya.